But what happens when this language is not familiar for both the students and the professors? Well, normally what we advise to do is to look for the definition itself. Sometimes we feel afraid of saying, I don't know the meaning. Why? Because we, as professors, are the authorities and we are the ones who know what we are teaching. However, not everything is clear as we have been checking because English, in this case, is not our first language. We are using it as a lingua franca, and this is the language that we're using to communicate with students. So what happens when these questions appear and then students or professors themselves have these questions about the language? Well, the first thing, as I was mentioning a moment ago, is to look for the definition of the word, like that. Sometimes looking for the definition is not the best way to do it because the definition may have words that are not familiar to both the students and the professors. So, what is the second proposal? Well, the second proposal is to use images. Normally, we can use a search engine, for example, Google, and then we can type the word and find the image. This will help everybody in the class to understand the concept. What if it is a more elaborated concept? Well, my suggestion here is to use YouTube. You may say, YouTube, are you serious? Well, yes, I'm serious. Sometimes, or most of the times, we can find very useful tutorials so that we can understand the concepts. Use this only when your question or your student's question is very difficult to explain. I suggest you to start using some basic tutorials about this. What if the problem is the pronunciation? One more time, you can use a search engine and you can check on the pronunciation of the words. What if it is language? Well, language can also be dealt or can also be managed the same way. We can find the word in Google, we can check on the pronunciation, and then check it. That would be the immediate response that we will want our students to receive. But what if you don't want to seem that you really don't know the answer? Well, the second strategy, instead of using technological resources, is to tell them that that concept or that word will be explained in detail in the following class. With this, you will gain time so that you can find the word, find the explanation, make up your own definition, or make up your own concept to explain with your own words and be ready for the following class. There is a third strategy, and I gotta say that this is my favorite one. When you admit that you don't know the word, but you don't want to seem that you don't know the word, you can ask the students, that's an interesting question. Let's check it next time, but you will find more information about this. And ask them to find information, definitions, images about that concept, but also do it yourself. So it is important that everybody in the class have the information to be ready to be discussed in the following class. Now, pay attention to this. You don't have to translate every single word, or you don't need to give the definition to every single word students or you don't understand. The important thing here is to identify those words or concepts that may be useful for your class, for the content you are teaching. If it is just a word that appears constantly because it is a preposition, because it is a word that is not necessary to understand the concept of your subject or the concept being taught during the class, don't pay attention to it. Leave it like that and tell students it is not necessary, we don't need it, we will check it later. But the important thing here is be sure that you can use any of these resources.